Perhaps we could spend a few moments together, all of us here, collected in a small group, and have a conversation about controlled chaos. That we live in controlled chaos, and that actually gets in or interferes with the discovery of ourself. The reason I say that, I'm using the word reason, I better duck. What causes me to say that is many times we will perhaps consider an action, speeding on the expressway, or maybe getting angry with our neighbor and wanting to smack them, or do some kind of retaliatory action. And then we think, well, if we do, then the police will get us, or we might have to go to jail, or we might have to pay the price in some form, like calling somebody a name and having to, what do they call that? Anyway, being sued for maybe telling somebody the truth. The reason that kind of gets in the way is because it doesn't show us who it is and what it is that we are. If there's anything missing more than an orderly mind, it is the ability for us each to see that we live in controlled chaos, that much and or many of our actions are directed by fear of the consequence or hope for the reward. Even in I'm sure some of you are silly enough to be religious, and even religion has its controlled chaos. If you're a nice person and you never curse, if you're not left-handed, if you are left-handed, is it or is that, or I don't remember. It's a sin to be left-handed, I think, something like that. I'm half a sinner because I bat left-handed and I throw right-handed, so that makes me half a sinner in the religious views. However, the reward for not cursing, not blaspheming the big boy up there, is you get to go to heaven. And then you walk on gold bricks, and some places you get 72 virgins. I don't know what happens on day 73. However, if you're not good, if you do curse or look at your neighbor with a little bit of whatever they call that, then you go to hell, where you burn forever. Because God is that's the way He is. You either get gold bricks to walk on or coal to get burned with. Unless it's Christmas, then you get coal in your sock if you've been a bad boy or a bad girl. So everything that we face, at least in this world, is controlled chaos. All of it in all of its forms. And I'm suggesting that works against the natural ability for us to see who it is that we are. So maybe now I can have a conversation about what I'm suggesting here. The ability to see who it is that we are needs, if you will, for us to be able to be free to see who we are. If you have this urge, have this thought to smack Billy because Billy stole your marshmallows, or your chocolate, then you need to see that your essence, your way of being, is violent. You can see that by the observation that you wanted to smack Billy. I mean, there's other marshmallows around, isn't there? That's my way of joking. So all of this and all of these conversations that we've had together, been hundreds of them, on YouTube/user/self-transformation, I think there's probably over 300 conversations that we've been having with each other. I say that because, in one way you could say that's a lie, because obviously there's only me here. However, these do go out into the universe. They go out where there's a possibility for them to be heard by millions of people. So, in that particular way, I'm not lying. So the essence of all that I've been saying in all of these videos and what I've been saying for 41 years is the secret to life has only one component to it. However, that one component comprises the entire universe. And that component is speaking the truth. Now, here's the problem with the imparting this secret to life. You don't know what speaking the truth is. You have no idea what the truth is because you have a chaotic mind, because you live in controlled chaos, because you've been trained and conditioned to be the way you are, or you get sent to hell, or you go to prison, or you get spanked, or you whatever those things are. It's always reward or punishment. And I'm suggesting that we could never discover who it is that we are, who it is and what it is that we are doing, as long as we live in and are controlled by controlled chaos. Now, there is an alternative. That alternative is to speak the truth, which is to find out the exact manner in which you are, to discover your need to get even, your need to pay people back, you're having to get revenge, or even, you see in so many of these shows, they say the parents need closure from a loss of their child. If you can see that each of those are possible only within yourself, they don't have anything to do with the outside world, essentially. The loss of someone you care for has no bearing at all on the manner in which you deal with it. That always has to do with you, your own interior, your own way of being. Controlled chaos, I'm suggesting here, gets in the way of, doesn't necessarily end the ability for us to discover ourselves, but it gets in the way of, because we have a fear of doing what it is that our mind says to do, or we don't do what our mind says to do because of the repercussion, because we don't want to go to jail or whatever it is. The in-between thing the thing that's actually the answer is to notice, to simply speak the truth about your thoughts. That person cut me off on the expressway, and I'm going to go up and get around him and cut him off, or her off. You see? The catching of that need for revenge, seeing it as it is, that you simply want to get revenge, ends the need to get revenge, because then you see that you are trapped in revenge. The manner in which you move out of a trap is you move through it, not back out, not back away from it. I wonder, as I'm going along here, I've had some conversation with some folks that I have a high kind of a opinion of, at least. They suggest that I ramble a lot, move through a lot of different places. So I'm noticing that, observing it as I will. The consideration about that is probably the greatest challenge that I have in what it is that I've been doing for 41 years, is to not have my thinking, my thoughts, direct what it is that I'm going to say. To see if I can keep my thoughts completely out of all of these talks that I've had, so that there's no thought in them. There's only intelligence, there's only creation, there's only the truth. Thought and knowledge and belief are all, as I have said so many times before, they are all of controlled chaos. So while I immensely appreciate any comments or considerations, anything you have to say about my presentations, the words I use, the manner in which I speak, all I do is listen completely with the words that you use. Because if I allow my mind to manipulate, to see if I can manipulate you to have some kind of order to it that you would call order, that a controlled chaos would call order, then there might be a problem. And if it's me that's in the controlled chaos, then there's also a problem. So I look to see if I can discover the truth of what it is that I'm doing. And 100% do I appreciate, Michael, the comments, the observations, and that people would send their care, concern, comments, criticizes, what do they call those other things? Compliments. They're all the same. A criticism and a compliment is the same damn thing in the world of controlled chaos. Negative and positive thinking is the same thing in the world of controlled chaos. Right and wrong is the same thing in the world of chaos. Controlled chaos. So to speak from creation and intelligence and truth has a condition, if you will. It's not really a condition, but it has a certain parameter. And that is that no manipulation be used in the conversation. Another way of saying it, if you will, there's that if you will. I don't know, I keep saying if you will. Is I hear what I'm going to say when you guys hear what I'm saying. We hear it all together. It's a same time kind of thing. As I have no idea at all what I'm going to say. When controlled chaos speaks, it has a certain manipulation. It has a certain regulation to it that you can't go from here to here to here. You can't do is what I'm suggesting here that I do is I flash 360 degrees, move in the universe wherever it's needed to have conversation. Now, I must admit, after 41 years of conversation, almost nobody listens. There is that almost there, however. The 1, 2, maybe 3. Who knows? So, controlled chaos, I'm suggesting here, while it's necessary when dealing with people who want to go to war, people who want to kill, people who want to rape, people who want to grab all the money they can grab, people who are greedy, people, all of those things. The last place it belongs, or the last place it could ever impregnate or enter, is intelligence, is creation, is the truth. It is needed somewhat, if you will, in the world of wars, in a world where people aren't valued, a world where we say we love ourselves and we ourselves, and we love our children, but we go to war, we kill, we make, we hold on to guns. We have all of the, here in America, we spend $750 billion to kill, maim, and murder people all over the world because of living in a world of controlled chaos. So here's the question I have, since it's up to 17 minutes. I'm getting way past this magical number of, what do they call that? I always forget that word. Attention, something like that. Attention deficit, whatever that is. If we could ever get to the place where we self-monitor our thought, catch our thought the moment it is born, experience that thought, speak it, the thought, that ends it. And as a matter of fact, if we could ever get to the place where we live our lives so that in each instant when the experience shows up, we experience it completely, 100%, then it disappears. When you completely, 100% experience an experience in the now, then it disappears. You see? And there's nothing before it. But when you live in the world of knowledge, thought, and belief, and manipulation, and controlled chaos, then there's never an ending, because it's an ever circulating or circling experience of manipulation. You have to talk this way to somebody. You have to get them to do this, and then they'll do that. Do this over here, and they'll do that. Give them a Christmas present, and they'll be good. Or tell them they're going to get coal, and they'll be good. All of these conditions I call controlled chaos get in the way of our ability to see our own insanity. The only thing we actually need to see, at least now, in order to free ourselves, bring forth peace on earth, is to see our own insanity. If we could see our own insanity, then we would begin to eradicate it, erase it, allow it to go away. I don't know why I put this microphone right in front of me. I feel like it's my girlfriend or something. I gotta hug it and get right up to it. Kind of dumb. I think I'll put it back where I had it before. All right. A little better now. Although I do kind of lean toward it, don't I? So, controlled chaos happens when you live your life from the place of manipulation. If you're manipulating to have a happening from your wife, husband, even from the word your is a manipulation. That's controlled chaos because you're owning your wife or you're owning your child. Anyway, that's another whole conversation. I'm at 21 minutes and 19 seconds. See y'all later. Why doesn't it take good?